What's up, my friends? So I haven't been on the channel for a long time, and that's because I really don't have a channel. But I'm gonna start changing that up. I'm gonna eventually start making more videos of what I've got going on, because I always have a lot going on when it comes down to vehicles and bikes and stuff like that. So anyway, here I am. It's 2020. It's March. I haven't done this in a long time. But anyway, to clear everything up, I don't have a Yamaha anymore. I don't have my my 2018 R1. It's gone. I sold it. Let's see. I think I sold it last June. And so it's at the end of June. But anyway, I did that because I wanted to get into some other projects and some other things, and I never rode. I didn't ride the bike enough. Like, I probably should have just kept it and stored it away and then, rode it as it went. But I sold it with like 1,200 miles on it. And then I had an R1 previous to that, which had, I think, like 4,500 miles on it, maybe something like that. When I bought it used. It was a gray one, and that was a 2015. No, 16. It was a 16. And I got a good deal on that, but it was the R1S. It wasn't the regular R1, so it was pretty limited. It's a street version, I guess you could call it, a more tame R1. Anyhow, I guess my little discussion right now is, do you need a $15,000 to $18,000 bike? Do you really need it? Because I went down that route twice. The first one I bought for like $14,500, and then the second one I ended up paying, like, after taxes and everything, close to $20,000 on the 2018. And I just didn't ride it enough. It wasn't worth it to me. I mean, I never tracked it, never did anything to it. All I really did was modify it and put things on it. Spent money, I guess you could say. So now I've got a little surprise, because instead of going way up into the expensive, high quality, fast, technologically advanced sports bikes, I went and kind of backtracked to something a little more raw. And it's a 2009, and I don't think I made a mistake. I was going to save up and buy another R1 and try to shoot for the R1M, but then halfway through saving, I was realizing, like, why am I going to spend that kind of money on a bike? Even $12,000 for a used bike, anywhere from 10 to 12, that's still expensive if you really look at it. That's a lot of money. And so I was at, like, I don't know, I mean, I think I had 11 or 12,000 saved. I was just going to keep going to try to reach the R1M. And I got down to it, and I was thinking one night, and I was like, well, what if I just get, like, a more, I guess you could say, raw bike? I don't know how to explain it. Less expensive, older, So I was looking around on Facebook, actually. Facebook has that marketplace thing now. And I was going through, and I found a really, really nice, it was an 09 CBR 1000RR Repsol. I don't like the frame on it because it's all silvery and the color scheme is a little weird, but it's a beautiful bike. And so I got in contact with a guy, and we talked for a couple nights, and I was just really in my mind and to myself about it. And then I finally decided, like, what's the matter with buying an older bike that is a little caveman, I guess you could say, compared to today's standard bikes. Anyway, long story short, I ended up going up there to look at it, and the bike was pretty badass. I mean, it was clean. The guy came from Florida. He had it dyno tuned. He was the first owner. He was the only owner since 09, and he put a little over 2,200 miles on it. So to me, that's a brand new bike. I've seen those Honda Repsols going out there, on the marketplace or on Craigslist for, $6,000 to $8,000 with really high miles. We're talking like anywhere from 20 to 40,000 miles. There was one on the marketplace, I think, just recently here in Colorado that was going for like $8,500, and they wanted, or they didn't want, I guess you say, and it had, I think like 40 something thousand miles. So to me that's nuts, but in a way it shows that it lasts. You know, it's something that lasts, because it's a common thing that I've seen online is these high mile bikes, and I don't buy high mileage bikes, especially if you don't know the history. A lot of things that can go wrong, and maintenance wise you don't know what they did or didn't do. So this one, I guess it's no different, low miles or not. The guy could have gotten on it and romped on it all the way through, you know, break-in period, and just completely messed everything up in the break-in period, which I don't know if he did or didn't. Of course he's going to tell you, you know, or the person's going to tell you, it's a great bike, it's perfect, there's nothing wrong with it, it's been babied, or, you know, adult owned. I hate that shit, you know, especially when people are like, I gotta get rid of it because I have a baby on the way, or my girlfriend, or my money, my wife, you know, has gotten out of control. And I've heard it all. So it's just excuses to get rid of something. And I hope it's not, you know, an excuse to mask a real problem. But, you know, I've had it now for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, I think. And so far, so good. I've did a fender delete on it so far, because the big old Boeing 747 wing on the back was just hideous, and so I got that taken care of. I got the sequential integrated tail light for the rear. Let's see, I did chain adjusters, oil, of course I changed the oil. I did fluids, I did the, what is it, engine ice, something like that, for the coolant. I got that all taken care of. I mean, that's just something you should, everybody should do when they first buy a bike or any kind of vehicle, is go through all of the mechanical stuff and fluids and everything, which I did. I had the bike torn apart completely, and that was for about a good 5-6 days that I had it down, just looking into everything. And I think the mileage is correct, I believe, because the tires, the wheels and the tires that are on there, they're the original tires, and they're, you know, they look like they have about 2,000-ish miles worth of wear and tear on them. You can still see the original color lining on them that they had when they come from the factory. And then of course I looked it up, and those are the exact tires that came on. Of course somebody could always put the same ones on, but I'm just going to go off of that. Fork seals are great. You know, all the seals on the bike are good. It has no leaks. What was cool about it is it came with a Akrapovic exhaust. I'm just gonna go with that, and it's from header all the way back, and it's all titanium. So that was definitely worth it for the price I paid. I paid $6,000 for the bike, and everything seems legit. You know, it's pretty nice. When I took it to have the compression here at my local shop done, everything checked out perfect. There was no inconsistencies, and so I'm just hoping it's going to turn out good. But I love the bike, I'm not going to lie. Compared to the Yamaha felt like I was riding on a popsicle stick that was like this, just completely tilted. Wrists were hurting, my back was always killing me, my shoulders, and then of course your core starts to fatigue after a couple hours of riding. But other than that, you know, I do love the Yamaha. I love the cross plane. I love every bit of that, and the power was awesome. The electronics, I don't know. The electronics are a little interfering. I know you could dial them down, but to me, they were a little too much for the way I like to ride. I'm not like a crazy wheelie guy or anything like that, but I do like having control of the power rather than having a secondary unit control it. So this bike's really cool. It's raw. You get on, it doesn't even have ABS, so you feel everything. Everything's there. You're in complete control, and I like it. So I will make a better video of this bike as I go, now that the weather's warming up and coronavirus is here. So hopefully I'm around for, you know, to be able to do that, because I don't want to catch that virus and die. I mean, Trump says it's bad. The pandemonium. I can't stand this shit. It's so stupid. I can't even go to the gym because they're shutting down local gyms, which I guess makes sense, but I mean, norovirus was so much worse. And I guess the argument for that is, you know, it's been around longer, and apparently this is barely surfacing, and it's already killed so many X amount of people, and give it time, it'll kill more. So I hope not, because riding season's just around the corner, and I am ready. I'm tired of winter. I live in Colorado, and it fucking sucks. It's bad. Freezing. It's just not a place to be a biker or a sports car person, period. Summers are great, but that's it. You only get like 3 or 4 months of that. And anyway, I guess a little touch up on the last R1 I made, or the video I made on the last R1, the blue bike, with the Chinese, or the Hong Kong exhaust that I had. The guy that I sold the bike to, I keep in touch with, and the bike's still running strong. You know, he rides, last summer he rode it all the way up until I think like September. And the exhaust wise, for all you that want to know about that exhaust, it's holding out great. There's no rust appearing. There's no anything. It's awesome. I mean, it's really a good exhaust for the price. I mean, granted, you're not getting titanium, which is much lighter, and it doesn't get as hot for as long. It's the weirdest thing. Titanium, you could run your bike all day, park it for 5 minutes, and you could actually go and touch your header, and it's already cool. That's a cool thing about titanium. And this is just, I think it's just metal, some kind of steel, or I couldn't even tell you what it's made of, but it works. And I did have a flash tune done, so that helped a lot too with all the other ratios on the bike as far as air and fuel mixture go. But it works great. Sounds awesome. It's insanely loud. I mean, I don't know how a real SC project exhaust would sound, but this one is pretty damn nice. I like them. They even sell one for the CBR that I have now, and I was looking at that on eBay, and of course I'm not going to get it. I already have this fancy one on there, and so I don't know. It's good. It's a good exhaust. You know, I recommend it to anybody that is looking to go the cheaper route. There's really nothing wrong with that. You know, the pipe takes the air out and the exhaust out, the gas is out, and gets it done. So as long as it's doing its job, I don't see the problem. I don't know. I've had many arguments, and you know, people saying their opinionated thoughts on it. So it's a good thing, though. I like it a lot. Cheap. And anyway, that wraps it up for this. Like I said, I will definitely be doing videos this spring and summer, and hopefully on, and getting this channel going, because I don't really have much of a channel, like I said. And to the few that are here following me, I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much. Like I said, I'll bring you way more content these coming months. So I might even throw in my Mustang. Everybody hates Mustangs and Fords, and you know, I like them. I don't know, they're cool. They look cool. I'm not out for the crazy speed and everything like that, and the LS power. I like all cars. I like all vehicles. I like all stuff like that. You know, it's fun to learn it all. I've had many cars, and in fact, since I was 16, I've had over 74 cars. Not all at once, of course, but you know, throughout the years of trading and selling and flipping, and mostly sports cars. You know, I can't even count on my hand how many F-body Camaros I've had, or you know, Fox body Mustangs and stuff like that. So I think that's what I want to make this channel into, is a you know, race bike slash car performance kind of a deal. But I like to do a lot of technical stuff. I will be getting a GoPro so I could ride around and, I guess you could say, vlog or blog, however you say that. But anyways, everybody take care. Have a good month, week, year, however you want to see it. Don't get coronavirus. Don't die. Stay safe. And I appreciate you watching. We got the bike. It's on the back. That back there. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. And then Robert, I don't know why he's camera shy, but he is. So, headed back home. Robert's talking shit about my knot I made over here.
It's already done.
Well, fine. We made it back. We're home. We are home. So now she gets to go in the garage. Boom! Repsol. It's in. carbon fiber. Robert's impressed. Settle down over there. Well, got rid of the Boeing 764. Big old monster heavy piece of junk. And there's that. Came with a little fancy LED light in the bottom too. Now just gotta wire it all up. Alright, so now these are sequential, like the Mustang. So, when I use my turn signal, this is what happens. Oh yeah. And there's the other side. There it is. All in the wiring. I'm gonna do the coolant on this thing. Granted, it's only got 2,000 miles, but never want to take a seller's word for it as far as everything goes, fluid-wise. I already did the oil. So here we go. Gym at 6 o'clock. If anybody wants to come along, bring your sweet ass and $10 to get in.